Now this will be the screw with the video to make the new distribution. Okay, so no longer is it first bird, second bird, third bird. It is now first case. Well, not even case. First game. We're talking about the chance of us getting the chance of us getting the $1 million case in each game. Because this is what blows my mind, friends. We picked the $1 million case 2 out of 3 times. The game is irrelevant at that point, right? The game is irrelevant. What happens with the game is only a consequence of me keep hitting no deal, no deal, no deal. What blows my mind is we actually had the $1 million case 2 out of 3 times. Does that make sense? So the game itself was irrelevant, unless to see what was in our case. That's all we wanted to see. So I'm just going to change this to first game, second game, third game. First game, second game, third game. Okay? Do you want to change B and G to something else that indicates our context? What do you say?
Winning and losing.
Win or not? Like how about WL? W means we have the $1 million. L means we don't. How's that sound? Yeah. So W means we have the what the hell's a million? 1KK. There we go. Yeah. And L means we don't. So let's change the boys and the girls. Which one should be which? Doesn't matter. W and L? Yeah. Okay, so all the W's and L's. What's that?
We're getting you to burn some of that energy off.
Oh, it's good. I've got pretty much infinite supply. And then we just got friggin' terrifying, whatever that was. Now I'm going to change these. Let me change these. Okay, so this is going to be win-win-win, which we did not do. This one's going to be win-win-lose, which we also did not do that, correct? Ours went win-lose-win. That's the way we just got it this time. We didn't have it last time. We did have it the first time. So this is actually us right here. Win-lose-win. Win-lose-lose. Lose-win-win. Lose-win-lose. Lose-lose-win. And lose-lose-lose. Okay. Now you got to change some stuff. Because it's not 10% likely that we win. It's not that good. 10% is pretty high. That would imply that there are 10 cases. There are not 10 cases, there are 26 of them. So what we have to do is we got to change all the 0.1s to 1/26. Fair? So let's do that. Let's change all those to 1/26. Say that again.
I was like, why are you overpronouncing?
Because 26 is hard to say. Say it 3 times. Go. You're not saying 26. You're saying 26. That's different. You have to get the TH in there because you have to get it in there. It's a fraction of a whole. You can't be cheating now. Lose is 25/26. Excellent. I've never seen that, but I trust you.
How have you never seen Harry Potter?
It's easy, I didn't. That was such a wise thing to say, I'm so sorry. But it is pretty easy. I've got a 5.5-year-old. I have no time to basically sleep when I watch movies. Sorry. Read books. It's a book. Okay, so you see. Now, friends, books are awesome. I don't have time to read them anymore. I have a suggestion. I don't think we have to do the entire distribution because we're not interested in the entire distribution, are we? The only question I had was, what's the chance we had what happened to us happen? So I think we only have to look at 3 different pieces. The question I had was very simple. What is the chance in 3 games we pick the $1 million case twice? There are 3 situations where that's relevant, isn't there? In this, out of the 8, there are only 3 that's relevant. 2 W's and an L. Let's just go find those 3. This one for sure. So this one is going to be 1/26, 26, and 25/26. That's one of the relevant cases. The other one's right below it. We're going to mix up the fractions a little bit. And the other one is down here somewhere. I think it's this guy, right?
Yeah.
Is everybody see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
there's really no need to look at all the other cases, the other situations, because we didn't say win all 3 times or lose all 3 times. We're only interested in what's the chance of what happened to us happening to us, which is getting the case with $1 million in it twice out of 3. So there's 3 situations for that to happen in. These 3. So I think these are the only ones we have to concern ourselves with. So essentially, we got, what did we get? 2 boys and a girl. 2 boys and a girl, right? Because we called getting a boy winning the $1 million case. That was a good, I think that was a good assignation. Because getting a boy was the rarer event than getting a girl, and getting the $1 million is way rarer than not getting the $1 million. So we have to basically redo this probability right here. I just swing this over so you can see what we edited. There we go. So my vote is we can ignore this and this. I want to come back to this one just because I want to talk about that one too. But this is the question that we have answered. What's the chance that we win twice but lose once? Okay? What's the chance we win twice but lose once? And I think it's a simple calculation now. We just do those 3 multiplications and add them together. So can I do this? I'm going to use a little bit of shorthand if it's okay with you guys, just because we have it from previous classes. It's 3 times 1/26 squared times 25/26. Let's make sure you're okay with that, the way I wrote that. Do you see how that's the same thing as doing them individually and then adding them together? Because numerically, the 1/26 squared and the 25/26, it doesn't matter where the 25/26 is. There's 3 of them all together. Yes? Is that decent? You guys live with that?
All together, yes.
Right. So Tiffany, you're right. So we're doing that one, and that one, and then adding them all together. These will not be different. These are different numbers now too, obviously. Those aren't the same as they were because those were based off the old values. Fair enough? Let's get the TIs out. And let's see the definition of Scott's outlier. Holy crap, this is mind-boggling. .cam. Power. This is why you drink? Because of mathematics? That's why I drink coffee. All right, here we go. Auto-tuned. It's a freaking guitar. All right, there we go. So, that was the M&M experiment. 244 is so awesome. Okay, so we got to go 3 times 1/26 squared times 25/26. Fair? 2 roosters and a chicken. 2 roosters and a chicken, if roosters are even rarer than in other words, 2 roosters and a chicken if the sexing process has gotten a lot better. If now they are sexing girls at 96% correctness instead of 90% correctness. Fair enough with that kind of analogy? Friends, do you see now why it's free? 0.4%. 0.4 times in 1,000. Which means, think about what that probability is. That is so ridiculously freaking small. Ridiculously freaking small. That's 4 in 1,000, correct? 4 in 1,000. Now remember what the 1,000 means. It means over time. 1,000 trials. Remember what a trial means. A trial means 3 games played. That's what we've defined a trial to be here. We've defined a trial as 3 games of deal or no deal played. 3 games of no deal or no deal played. If we do that 1,000 times, which equates to 3,000 games, right? So if we do 3 games 1,000 times, we should expect to hit the $1 million case 2 out of 3 times in only 4 of those 1,000. Which means we just luckily got it on the 3 we did. Isn't that amazing? It's incredibly amazing to think.
Where does a lucky class?
That's the only thing you can define. We fell into the random assignation of those cases, luckily. It's exactly right. This is where the extra
You go to one class.
Special
This is why it's mind-boggling, friends. This is why it's mind-boggling. Because here's the chance we never get the $1 million case. That's the chance we never get it.
Wait.
I did 25 out of 26 cubed. That means every single time we play, we get some other case besides the $1 million, which means essentially getting all girls, which is the highest likelihood, correct? Highest likelihood. But look, it's 89%. That means 11% of the time, you're going to pick the $1 million case somewhere in the 3. Isn't that wild? Out of 3 games, 11% of the time, you're going to get the $1 million case somewhere. Because 89% of the time, you never get it, which means the other 11% of the time, you're going to get it at least once. Now that probably seems higher intuitively than it should be. But you got to remember this too. You only play the game one time, unless Howie lets you play. Let's do best out of 3! unless you're going to try to get a hook. I've heard he's extraordinarily touchy-feely. So if you try to grab the hook, now stop hugging and let me play it, then it might work out. Nuts? Oh, no, wait, no, nuts.
Like a handshake?
No handshake, just a knuckles. Just a knuckles.
No germaphobe.
No, germaphobe. Thank you for the word I couldn't quite find.
So 11?
Yeah, ish.
At the time.
We rock.
Oh, yeah, we do. We rock luckily. Yes!
Does that website change like the probability of the cases or not?
I don't know how the actual code of the website works. If I had to guess, Jake, I would guess that when you hit go, play the game, it takes the 26 numbers and puts them into a random order. That's what I would guess. Watch this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I can show you in Excel, not with the spread.
Well, yeah, no, I understand what
You see
you're
what I'm
saying.
saying?
I understand what you're saying on that, but like, because like I feel like because of our results that the website basically changes.
Oh.
No. I am just as proud now as I was when Kurt said it matters. I am. When he said it matters whether it's pulling out of 10 chickens or 100. What you just described, Jake.
Yeah.
You just described 243, the binomial distribution, to a nutshell. You just described the entire back half of Math 244, Jake. Here's why. When you're expecting results and you get the opposite of what you're expecting, you question the original assumptions that you made. Okay? See what I'm getting at here? So this is the way all statistical studies, whenever you see studies show, the one you just quoted today, Scott, studies show. Those studies are showing a disagreement between what's called the status quo and the results that your data put forth. Give you an example. We just did this recently in 243. H1N1. Swine flu. Thank you. Swine flu. Big deal. Well, it was maybe be a big deal anyway in the news about, 4 or 5 years ago maybe? Ish, somewhere in there, John. Turns out that they ran out of vaccine for it. People were totally paranoid about swine flu getting inoculated for it. So some researchers out in England decided, let's see if we can water down the swine flu vaccine that we have, dilute it down, and see if it's still effective. And what they do is they see if it's effective by testing what percent of folks that get the diluted version create enough antibodies in their body. Okay, antibodies to the flu vaccines. And the cutoff is 75%. If they can get at least 75% of the antibodies in their body, then the diluted vaccine works. So what they do is they go into the study assuming that people won't get the 75%. And what they got was a disagreement with that. They got a very small probability, which is called a small p-value. Oh, making me happy, Jake. A very small p-value, which implies the opposite of what they were expecting. They were expecting 75% or fewer antibodies. What actually happened was more than 75%. So in other words, they were expecting, if you will, let me throw a curve over here on the board for you to look at. Well, that's what Jake's concern is. Jake's concern, and I can draw a picture for this one too. That's a great comment, Lynn. Here's what they were expecting with the swine flu antibodies. But what happened was, it landed way over here. So this is what 243 and 244 spent weeks developing. This is where the majority of what should happen happens. But what happened was way over here. So it's highly unlikely that the results were on this curve. It's much more likely that they're at some other curve that's shaped over there. What Jake is saying is, based on our results, okay, we shouldn't be getting as many wins as we did. Our curve would look more like this. We'd get far fewer $1 million cases. We'd be more likely to get no $1 million cases than we would to get 1, than we would to get 2, than we would to get 3. So the fact that we landed over here in the smaller part of the curve maybe implies to Jake that there is some other curve that the website is somehow controlling. I have no answer for that, except that I hope it's not. I just hope that we didn't. I just hope that we were just lucky. Because if that's the case, any analysis I'm trying to do on this is out the window.
It's out the window.
Right. I can't predict. It's like Monty Hall.
Yeah.
Remember Monty Hall? If I was moving the lollipop. Then it becomes a master game. Because then you can't analyze it. You can't say that it's better to switch because you have no idea if it is better to switch or not. Is that believable?
Yeah.
Fair-ish? Go ahead, Scott.
Not trying to reveal the whole story.
Don't!
No, but that was one of the complaints about when I was reading is one of the complaints is that the actual online games and stuff like that are driven solely by mathematics. Where the online version, there's so many intangibles that go into it because it's driven by the show.
By the show. That's why I like the online game, because I have a snowball's chance in hell of actually cracking it.
Yeah.
Because it is purely objective. There is no Howie like, no, jack it up again. I think I can get this guy to keep playing.
Yeah.
Like, don't, or but I should move it down. Keep the offer low and I can't control for that.
Yeah.
So good for you. Good, and thank you for not saying any more than that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now,
Once you know, big secret.
well, no, Scotty said he consumed some research where they actually cracked the banker's calculation, which is where we started the day trying to go back into that and look at it again.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know what the answer is because I want to kind of crack. I want to spend time developing data with my classes and developing it over time.
And does it have anything to do with us winning 2 times out of 3 the million on the online thing with how many people are playing that game online?
Yes and no.
How many hits on the website?
Yes and no, I would imagine. Because I imagine in between the times we played it now and last Thursday and last Tuesday, that people have played the game since then.
Right.
Which means the randomizer has kicked in. Which means if I played again with Janelle's randomizer right now, the chance of me getting the $1 million case again in the first hit is still under 4%.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I know, God.
Pull out Janelle's old
Kind of
thing.
a great Actually, you know what? We can test it very quickly. We could test it. We did on Tuesday. We did. We could test it really quickly. I don't even have to. All we got to do is get Janelle to tell me which case to pick originally, right? That's all we got to do. Because then I could just pick cases willy nilly. It doesn't matter at that
Have
point.
you started having dreams of this game?
No, I haven't because I don't sleep enough to dream. That's why I drink so much coffee. Hang on. Deals or no deal. And what I want to do also is I want to wrap this up with a connection to Powerball. I want to see how you guys can connect this to Powerball. Which we'll do this next time. I want to take next class, talk about Powerball, explain how Powerball comes together. And it is connected back to the chickens, but it's in a way more complex and complicated, kind of convoluted way. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Connecting. I don't know.
So then really it has nothing to do with how many people run the
Oh, they have to wait, friends.
Quick try again.
Try again.
I mean,
Okay.
I know that our data doesn't have anything to do with that, but I'm just.
And they have to wait?
The
Oh,
fact that
well.
we did get,
He looks so
it's very rare.
It's incredibly rare.
Network's down. The network's down? Actually,
No, that's
happens all the
probably pretty
time.
common.
That's because it happens all the time around here.
This, she asked about the 2 out of 3 and it goes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what the .004 tells us. That assuming, and Jake, assuming that nothing nefarious is going on behind the scenes, that .004 tells us that we shouldn't have seen what we saw. But we did. Which either means we were exceptionally lucky, which is the argument I'm going with, or it's exceptionally nefarious in the background, which I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that it's just pure randomness. And we're just lucky. Okay, so we're not going to get this, which is totally fine. I was actually going to pull up the Powerball ticket. But let me just set the stage for Tuesday. Let me set the stage for Tuesday. Blank this out. We don't need it anyway. We'll play again on Tuesday morning when the connect. We'll try it again at the end of class and see if it'll pick up for us. Usually IT gets those connection problems fixed really quickly. Powerball. Powerball just recently hit, if you remember. $600 million, which I believe is the biggest jackpot they've ever had. Yes? I think so. Because I think the last biggest one happened not that long ago, 3 months ago. 550, 560, something like that. What I'm going to have you, I'm going to tell you right now what your last exam is going to be. Your last exam is going to be figuring out the expected value of the Powerball ticket.
Expected value of Powerball.
And you don't have to write this down. This is going to be your take-home part of your exam. This is your take-home part of your exam. This is going to be loaded for you guys in a couple days. You'll have it online for you. So basically, it's going to be based off the understanding of how to calculate Powerball probabilities. So you have to know, when you talk about Powerball, there are different ways to win, and therefore different ways to lose. So what I want to do before you walk out of here today is to understand how the fundamental operation of the game works, and then on Tuesday we'll crunch the probabilities of playing the game. Does that make sense? So let's make sure we understand the game itself first. Let's swing over to the sideboard, which I can't unfortunately zoom on. Let me just take this as far this way as I can. You're good, Brandy. As much code as I can. Okay. So when you play Powerball, when you play Powerball, you pick how many numbers altogether? Has anybody played Powerball before? Maybe you haven't. Oh, you haven't. You pick 6 numbers altogether. You pick 6 numbers. You pick 5. I don't know what the first 5 numbers are called. They're just called like normal numbers. This is not readable. Let me get some more ink. Let me recharge it real quick. Oh, the blue marker. You pick 5. I want to call them non-Powerball numbers. And then you pick the Powerball. Why is it called the Powerball? Brilliant marketing. Brilliant marketing. They associate the word power with a lottery game, and they put hundreds of millions of dollars as a prize. Brilliant. It's genius marketing. It's genius. It's genius marketing. Even those little scratchy games, they used to have stupid things like fish on them. Powerball. Makes you want to play. Makes you want to play. Maybe. So, when you pick 5 non-Powerball numbers, you have to pick them without replacement from 1 to, crap, this is the part I don't remember. I think it's 59. Crap, hang on, let me look this up. I don't remember this.